It's Tim Albright with AVNation with the Road to ISE. Integrated Systems Europe happens the 30th of January through the 2nd of February. And with me to talk about his stand is my buddy John Henkel from NETGEAR. Welcome, sir.
Hello, Tim. How's it going? Thanks for having me here today.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining us. You guys are in Hall 5. Hall 5C as in Charlie 750. Hall 5C 750. We know NETGEAR. We love NETGEAR. We use them all the time. So what will we find in the NETGEAR stand this time around?
Well, I'm going to start out with what you won't find. And you won't find me this year, Tim, I'm sorry to say, but I'm staying home. I have an awesome staff. We have plenty of people in Europe to handle this. And, with the 3 flights it takes for me to get over there and all that jet lag, I'm going to pass on this year. I'll do all the build up like we are here. So Anyway, you won't see me, sorry to say.
But will we see Laurent?
You'll see Laurent, of course.
Okay.
And that's the thing.
All right.
All you need is Laurent really for this.
I will disagree with that slightly, right? Because Laurent doesn't have an Emmy.
There's that. A Santa Emmy today, if you see it.
Yeah.
But we have Richard, who will be talking on-camera stuff at
100%.
the show. Plenty of good people over there, no question.
Yes.
And you don't need to see this ugly mug one more time. So we're good to go. So that's the first thing. I won't be there. Okay. It's fine. What will be there are some awesome new things and the existing stuff we've had, we announced this year. So 4350 switches. That's the newest series we announced at Infocom. And they've been coming along, releasing 2 different waves. So the second wave is just being pushed out the door probably as this airs. And with that second wave of switches, we have 2 switches that are going to support the SMPTE 2110 protocol. That's a big deal for broadcasters, right? Mm-hmm. Not as much for commercial, but for broadcasting, it's huge because the cost to entry, the barrier is huge for doing SMPTE 2110 on a switch. And NETGEAR makes very affordable and very awesome switches. We've waited for this to do it right. So that'll be with the same kind of profiles we have, the groundbreaking profile approach for AV, same thing for broadcast. You sign a profile to ports, you're done. We'll configure the switch for 2110. That's huge. Go ask Laurent about that at the booth at ISE. Secondly, the Engage controller, we've talked about for a while, the AV user interface for those profiles. We pulled out to a standalone application that's free called Engage. That always has improvements. It's a great thing about software. Much easier to get software improvements out the door, upgrades. So that we have a bunch of new profiles. We have several that'll automatically configure the switch. It goes and finds that Shure audio device. We've had that for a little while. Same thing for some Crestron devices or Visionary Solutions devices. I'm going to forget somebody I know. But it'll go out and search the network and find those, automatically configure it for you. That's huge, huge time savings. Those are coming out. Check out those. There'll be live demos for Engage at the show. And Laurent will be doing his little presentation about every hour, I think, top of the hour or so, on how to configure your network for AV over IP. So go to that CAN presentation. He'll walk you through that and then ask questions. He knows everything. So whatever, you can't stump the guy. You can try, Tim, but you can't stump him.
You can try, and I have, and it's very, very humbling when I do. Hall 5C 750 is where we'll find Laurent, where we'll find NETGEAR. John, you mentioned something there, and you guys have announced quite a lot this year in 2023. Talk for a second about, specifically that SMPTE 2110 and that move, not something you shouldn't move, as an expansion into more and more AV over IP from NETGEAR and making it, more efficient for dealers and, quite frankly, for the end users to deploy, but also, maintain their AV over IP networks.
Yeah, it's really been a game changer for us. And I'll be honest, at first, when we started that with the 4250 switches a few years ago, when I first started, that wasn't as much as what we're focusing on, the AV user interface. And we come to find out that's the biggest deal because not all AV people know IT or how to configure a switch. And you don't have to go get your massive CCNA certification from some other manufacturers to try to configure a switch. You can use these profiles and assign that in literally seconds. I mean, it's really quick. You can do a lot more than that. What IT people are finding out, because there's always been the involvement of IT, like a university especially, the IT people own that network. You can make your little AV network, which we promote. But when you talk to the IT people, they're going to go, okay, great, that's cute, but what does it actually do? What they find out is now you have a way to make sure every installation is perfectly the same across the campus. So that profile helps the AV people be more comfortable configure a switch. It also helps the IT people be comfortable that the AV people are configuring it the right way. So it's really done a world of good, I think, on both sides. So we have a surprise. You got to stop by the booth to see a new access point, and I can't divulge it just yet because we're a little bit early, but we have a special surprise, a new business-oriented access point that's going to knock your socks off. Come by the booth and check out that. I won't blow it just yet, so come by the booth and see that.
Probably best for both of us that you don't. All right, Hall 5 C750, where you can buy and see the brand spanking new wireless access point. You can also play Stump Laurent. But John, like you, if somebody's not going to ISE and they want to follow along with everything that NETGEAR will be talking about that week, how do they do that?
Best way, I think we're going to do some social media on LinkedIn, of course. So I forgot the exact URL for NETGEAR on LinkedIn, but you can find us, NETGEAR, just a general NETGEAR page. And follow me on LinkedIn as well. I'll post whatever I can from photos and goings on, and we'll connect there.
All right, very good. John Henkel from NETGEAR. Thank you so much. For us, for AVNation, go by our website, avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv. Follow along as we also head to Integrated Systems Europe, the 30th of January through the 2nd of February. All that and more at avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.